You're listening to the Two Dumb Babies Secret Podcast, available every week on Patreon and every other week on YouTube and wherever else you listen to podcasts. And now, for the intro.
I would like all of you to know we're not in this together. Hey, how's it going?
Dude, I'm doing okay, man. I'm doing all right.
Are you?
I was looking for my beer.
That sounded like I'm glad the window's closed.
What do you think?
Like I'm doing fine. I might try and jump out this window later, but it's okay.
It's only like 10 feet down. I don't think it would hurt me.
Yeah, I know. We're just over a story high.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be fine.
Yeah.
I could land on my back and be like, get over it, Willie. That's never
Back
good.
might hurt.
Back might hurt, but I don't think it would like end my life or paralyze me. It would just be like, ah!
Yeah.
I'd be fine.
I don't know if you'd get right up after it, though.
I'd probably roll around for a second. It's on a hill,
roll
too.
around.
I'd be like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like you do that pain roll.
Rolling it around, walking it off for your back or something.
I guess, yeah. You've never rolled around on the ground
After
in
landing
pain?
Yeah, I've rolled around on the ground, not because I landed on my back that almost
But anywhere
broke,
you
though.
fucking land, you roll around. If
No,
you
I don't
get
know.
hurt, you're like, you're rolling.
Not usually if your back hurts, though. You're just hurting your back more.
You got another side you can roll on.
You're just cooking on your stomach out there. Oh, my back.
I don't know, dude. I would totally roll around on my back because it'd be like some pressure on the injured thing. You know what I mean?
Maybe. Pressure sounds bad after you land on your back.
I mean, dude, you got to keep all that blood in there somehow.
Yeah, you're
the
probably
blood in.
bleeding internally.
Like your back's like exploding.
Yeah. Just bubbling down there.
How far do you think you could fall and be fine?
Landing on my back specifically, or just
All right, we'll do back and then legs or feet. I'll say feet. It's better than legs.
Yeah,
Legs might be. Yeah, that might be your thighs. Who knows what that means?
Your knee in there, your tailbone maybe. Back.
I'd say this is the furthest I could fall on my back.
This is the furthest I could do it where I think I would stand up from it.
Yeah.
And there's a parking garage under me, and then
but there's a slope too.
Yeah,
it catches you a little bit.
So I'm basically falling off a 2-story roof, well, like the slanted one. So like you're one story up.
I'd say it's like 1 story.
Yeah, you're like 1 story with the slanted roof. It's one. Yeah. You're falling off. This was the stupidest way for me to explain, but 2-story roofs.
Technically,
they're only
1 story is 2 stories.
once you fall off of them because the corner.
Like, what do you build roofs do? Why do you care about this so much? Well, technically, a slanted roof means it's 1 story.
I took
roofing in college. I thought this class was gonna be something else.
No, but
I thought it was called roofing.
I took what's it called when you design plans for a house and stuff? House
architecture.
Architecture. I took architecture in high school.
Yeah, in high school?
Well, there was like
that doesn't seem like a high school.
That
class.
was like I know the high school I went to cut most all of their electives, and that was like the closest thing to art that
That's
we
hilarious.
Had.
They cut music, they cut art,
architecture.
and like architecture. That's close. Did you?
It was awful.
So what does that have to do with falling off buildings, though?
It had to do with the caring about the roof more so than the falling off a building.
I like how low you are to architecture.
To learn
after
architecture,
all these years.
To really know how high something is, you have to fall off of it.
You're like 18 years out of architecture class.
I didn't know the name of it anymore. I think that demonstrates how far out.
But I do remember what a 2-story roof is and a 1-story roof is.
This is probably about as high for back. I think I could do 2 stories, 2 full stories for legs.
2 full stories with legs? How much?
I think I'm hurting myself.
How many feet is that? Fucking big architect
man.
I
don't know anymore. I don't know, 30? 32 feet maybe?
32 feet? See, that's an exact enough answer where I was like, maybe he does remember some stuff from architecture class.
Could be right.
That could totally be right. If you said 27, I also would have been like,
Yeah,
maybe.
Right. And I could have been like, it's like 108. Like, yeah, sure.
You should just put it in meters. And I was like, oh, he definitely knows architecture. They're about 4 meters. I was like, meters? Okay.
Depends on how hot it is outside. Like, when is that even? What direction's the wind going?
He knows his physics.
How strong's gravity?
Yeah,
during
here.
this?
Is that something you got to think about?
What
Probably.
year is it on the Chinese calendar? Is this a monkey year or a pig year?
How high up is it from sea level?
Yeah. When the ice caps melt, stories raise.
Yeah.
Or something.
Yeah. I think I read that somewhere. I never took architecture, but I took geometry.
Yeah.
And they talked about...
they're similar.
They talked about oceans rising a lot. So.
In geometry?
Yeah.
I don't think that was geometry.
Everything's geometry when you go to class on mushrooms.
I feel like you just went to a school.
I'm in history. It was like, man, these shapes are crazy. Teach.
Everything just mushes together on mushrooms.
Yeah, I'd say furthest I can fall on my back, probably this. On my feet,
higher for sure, right?
Higher for sure. I'm wondering how much. I'm thinking like 3 stories seems crazy.
I know. I almost said 3 stories, and then I was like,
what?
I might be able to survive 3 stories, but I'm probably not walking away from 3 stories.
Yeah, exactly. I'm getting carted
My
away.
legs
I'm
are
probably
broken.
never walking again.
Yeah.
My back might be broken, even after landing on my legs.
I've never been like great at parkour stuff.
Yeah,
I've never learned any
I could
of
never
that.
do backflips. I played football in high school, and that probably
Yeah.
damaged my legs and back a lot more than it helped.
I learned how to fall skateboarding. The highest up skateboarding I ever did was probably about 10 or 12 feet up. It was like a baseball
It's like a ramp,
dugout.
right?
It was like a baseball dugout
word.
awing off of it.
Okay.
So the dugout was like 8 to 10 feet and then
Dude, that is
awing a little bit.
That's fucking gnarly.
And yeah.
Off a baseball dog. That sounds cool as hell.
Yeah, back in high school.
Did you land it?
I like landed and fell off. My
whatever.
buddy landed and split his board.
That sounds right.
Broke his board. I tried it a few times, but that's what I'm saying. But I tried it a few times where I also like a couple where I ditched the board, a couple where I like almost landed but then fell. But like all of those, I completely walked away. I wasn't even badly hurt.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I could do twice as high if I was just jumping and I didn't have a skateboard and I was just like focused on
I feel like
hopefully
the
not hurting
skateboard
myself.
helps the landing because you land and then you move, and like some of the the force goes sideways.
It probably
instead.
helps it if you land, but
Yeah, if you don't
I
land,
didn't
that's
land
true.
I didn't land most of them. And like I said, I ditched the board on some of them, so I was just landing on my feet.
Yeah. I feel like you gotta, if you do like the land and then fall off, that's a good way to transfer force. Cause
Right,
you're like
you
landing
probably
and then
are.
sliding, and I bet you're like absorbing a ton of that.
Then how much force are you sending onto your ass when you push back and land on your
Probably
ass?
a good amount. Probably a lot.
Hurts.
This is a physics
hurt.
podcast now.
And architecture.
Yeah.
It's
M
physical
equals
architecture.
mx equals b plus
Max equals
fucking
px.
eating shit. MXC equals good show.
Yeah, if you just put a bunch of letters together and some like addition, subtraction, multiplication things, it sounds right.
Yeah.
Sounds like something.
ZF plus Z2 equals Z. Maybe.
Well, there's no,
Maybe.
there's no way that's right.
Maybe, dude. Yeah, probably not. Yeah, you took the architecture, so you'd know.
I also took math. Math was in school. You took that, right?
Nah, dude. We don't have math in Hawaii.
Never heard of
We
it.
have PE all day. PE and then English, and no one can
guys-
speak English.
You guys surf and fish.
Yeah, exactly.
And like learn how to build hammocks or something.
Yeah, it's all very very racist.
Did you have
Everyone has to Hulu. Or Hulu.
and everyone has to hula hoop.
Yeah, everyone has to Hulu.
Were there any like super Hawaii type classes other than Hawaiian history, which everywhere you do your state history? But
Yeah, Hawaiian history is really anti-American though.
Yeah,
Like most people's
which is
state
pretty
history
awesome.
is like, oh yeah, Lewis and Clark came and then there was Oregon.
Yeah, 'cause
like Hawaiian history is like America is the Nazis of Hawaii and we are an occupied kingdom and like all this shit, and we're like, okay, dude, that's fucking... And I believe that they
Yeah.
indoctrinated me. That is true. So it's Hawaii's cool like that. You know, there's not a lot of anti-American state history.
That's cool too, because when I was in Arizona and we did Arizona history, it was like half Arizona history, and then the rest of the year was American history, specifically American history.
We did an American history class in like 10th grade or something like that.
Yeah, it was 10th grade,
and it's still through the lens of like America sucks.
Yeah.
So we learned about how we like didn't want to go to World War II and all like the dark stuff about American history they don't teach in most high schools. Like,
it is wild.
That was like public high school in Maui. It was like, yeah, you know, America also hates Jews. Try getting Arizona public school to talk about that. Like, way.
No, the kids would tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we hate Jews.
I went to a school named after a racist.
Yeah, I went to a school named after a demigod, dude. Maui High School.
Much cooler.
Much cooler.
I went to Barry Goldwater High School.
That's like going like to Hercules High School. You know, like, that's sick. Yeah, Barry Goldwater. That sounds Jewish.
Dude, this dude was a piece of shit politician who was like super shitty. Just terrible person. Yeah.
Was he
anti-Semitic?
Jewish? It sounds like, that's crazy he was anti-Semitic because he sounds like an agent. Dude, you signed with Barry Goldwater? Congratulations.
That's Goldstein or Stein.
I guess. Goldwater. I've heard Jews named Goldwater. Maybe not.
No, I don't think you have.
Maybe not.
I don't think you heard anyone else named Goldwater.
Honestly, I'm just latching on to Barry.
That's fair. Barry is, yeah.
What did he do? Barry Goldstein.
I'm not good with history anymore, but I've read about him here and there back when I was there, and he sucked.
Yeah. And like, who did he hate the most? Was he like anti-Jew, anti-black, anti-Native American? What are we talking?
I don't remember because there's too many. Like, I'm gonna mix him up with too many other politicians who also hate all of those people. And it's like,
he's the only American politician who's ever sucked, right?
The thing is, a lot of them suck, but he was like openly, hey, this guy hates these people.
It's crazy how many racists got high schools.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking most racists got high schools. I'd be willing to bet.
A lot of high schools.
Like a ton, or most high schools are named after racists. I don't want to say most racists got high schools named after them because there's a lot of racists. But
yeah,
there's more racists than high schools for sure.
Yeah, we're just gonna run out.
Maybe if they went to more high
school. It is crazy. You were either
be less racist.
You were either a like racist or you were like a revolutionary.
Yeah, right.
Those are the people who get high schools. Like, you're the cause or effect.
Yeah, right.
You're this piece of shit, or you're the people who had to fight against this piece of shit.
Yeah, across the street there was Malcolm X High School, and you're like, what is... Are we going to have to do a race war at the end of this? Because I don't like my side. I want to pick the other school.
We were like the only high school in Phoenix or like in that whole area that was named after someone. Everything else was just named after the area.
Yeah.
It was just their city.
They're just really proud of Barry Goldwater.
We're like, Barry Gold. I'm like, all right.
Well, that was like who made it out of towns back in the 1800s. Like, there wasn't like a music scene you could break into or like a comedy thing. It was like, I broke into the racism scene. And I was huge in the racist politician scene. And now I have a high school.
Yeah, and he failed too. He's a failed politician because he tried to become president.
Yeah, but he was a good racist.
Didn't make it, but he was a good racist, I think. And that's something Phoenix, for a long time, held proud.
It was really a big thing.
Which is also weird. It's like one of the newest states. They haven't even been around that long.
Yeah. I know. That's the fucking another wild thing about American history. Is like all those pieces of shit from like the Civil War in the South.
Yeah.
All went out to the rest of the country and they were like, no, but we had a good idea. They were like, all right, sure.
Yeah, we'll start a new state.
Yeah. It was never like people who won stuff who was going to a new state to start over. That's why there's a ton of racists in Arizona.
True.
like, I lost everything. I can't own people. It's time to go to the desert.
Yeah, I'm going to go to this place that everyone said was uninhabitable.
Yeah, I'm fucking in. This is exile. This isn't going out riding off to the sunset to Phoenix.
There's still so much of Arizona that is uninhabitable that there's nothing.
Dude, there's a ton of,
it's just desert.
Even like Nevada and California. I was driving to Vegas the other week, and it was like, just we have a ton of land in America. You know, the overpopulation wouldn't be a problem if we could live everywhere, but you can't live in. Like most of California is unlivable.
So you say that it's unlivable, but isn't it wild that we're like going to Mars and we're like, we can make Mars livable?
Yeah, right.
We're like, 100 miles outside of real cities. I don't know. That looks difficult.
No, the logistics don't make sense. Mars, though.
You can still send stuff here on trains or like bus it in or like, whatever you need.
Well, that's where like I get
Planes
confused.
fly over here.
People are like, Elon Musk isn't going to take slaves to Mars. It's like, who's going to find the water? I'm like, fucking, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Don't you know how countries are built?
Who's going to build space railroad tracks?
Yeah, exactly, dude. And like fucking, the only reason we have infrastructure is because of atrocities to human rights.
Yeah.
You think we're going to go to Mars and be like, all right, no more atrocities. We're never going to build anything.
Only billionaires will live here, and they'll be like, hey, you go do something. Like, I'm also a billionaire. And be like, well, what do we do?
Yeah.
Where does everything else come from? We usually give money to people.
We just eat each other or something? And that's what would happen. They'd all eat each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
If you took every billionaire and just put them anywhere by themselves and they didn't have people to boss around, they'd be fucked. They have no actual skills for the most part.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I own stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna invest. Like, you can't invest. You're on an island.
Yeah, you're on Mars. We don't take American money. This is a new planet.
You're gonna have to think of something else than how to make money off other people's hard work. Like, I got nothing.
Yeah, maybe we'll beat up the less rich billionaires. Can't you get $1 billion and you're still not rich enough?
Rich billionaires, I think, and then it's gonna go by a strength thing.
Yeah, I hope so. I know, and they're all so old usually. Most billionaires are like 50 and 60. You know. Like that's we're gonna see
Dr.
like
Dre.
the TikTok billionaires, dude. Those guys are gonna run Mars.
Yeah, probably.
Those 25-year-olds who just invented an app fucking 3 years ago. Those Silicon Valley billionaires, dude.
Yeah, all the people who also have no idea how to make life livable, how to make it happen again.
At least they have the youth to be able to learn.
Yeah, they can learn a bunch from.
Like,
no one's made enough mistakes on Mars. They don't have anything to learn from,
yeah,
really.
Exactly. Or they find out that people have made huge mistakes on Mars, and that's why it's empty.
We've been here before.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I can't wait until we find that print that Earth was Mars one time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, no.
Scientology is correct.
Now we're back on the dead one? Why did we come to Mars? That was stupid.
We're just trying to bounce back and forth.
Yeah. That's like fucking coming from the Sahara. You know what I mean? And like humankind has branched out, and then we all just have to retreat back to the Sahara. That's
everything
what this
else
Mars
up.
thing is. You're like, all right, well, we're back.
Yeah. Until you make all of Earth inhabitable, I don't believe that you can make Mars livable.
Until you can make like Prim, Nevada,
a
cool place to hang out.
Even parts of Arizona that there are people living, still uninhabitable.
Yeah, dude. I know, right?
Like, technically there's a few houses there or whatnot, but...
Dude, that always blows my mind when I'm on those drives out to, like, Vegas. There'll just be, like, one house, and it's, like, a farmstead. There's, like, an area for animals, but, like, there's no animals in 100 miles besides, like, snakes and fucking scorpions, you know? And they're just living out there. They have, like, 10 cars.
Yeah.
And, like, they probably just make meth or something like that. Like, I don't know what they do, but it's just, I always wonder, it's like, what is their life like?
It's like the hills have eyes. People, those are from the kids who were road tripping and just broke down out there.
Yeah, they're just like, I guess I live here now. You can keep hitchhiking. Like, nah. Too much work. I'd rather build a homestead.
Yeah, that's the whole, like, I couldn't imagine living somewhere where, like, I gotta travel 50 miles into town to go get groceries.
Yeah, dude. You're like, or I gotta hunt. Ugh. I gotta go find water. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That sounds horrible. I'd rather just not drink. I'd
Water?
rather die of dehydration than go get water every day.
I mean, I don't think they go get it. They probably have some sort of irrigation system thing that they built or whatever, right? They're not like...
Even still, you gotta build it?
They're not hunting for water.
It's like a well 10 miles away, and you gotta walk to it.
Well, it's probably closer to them if they're the only ones. It's probably their well.
I bet it's a community well. Like, of all the people that live 10 miles apart, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
And they're like, we share this well. And, yeah, there's a bunch of bodies in it. It's probably all tainted.
Yeah, people are always falling down wells, if I've learned anything from
or
the past.
murdering people and dumping them in wells. because you live in the desert and you can murder people still. What a shitty place.
Yeah, and you can't bury people in sand because the wind eventually blows it away.
Yeah,
and, you're like,
and that's another thing about Mars, dude.
100 feet.
Are you gonna bring a bunch of cops to Mars? How are you gonna stop all the murder that's gonna happen? You know, bring a ton of fucking...
They're going to send guns. Guns go on the first spaceship to Mars.
Guns are there first. We're going to do this like Iran-Contras. At least we learned something from the crack epidemic.
Yeah.
If you throw guns at a place, it becomes safer. You didn't learn anything.
No, that's not what happened.
That's not the lesson at all.
We definitely come from a society where people take completely different things away from a situation.
Yeah, exactly. No, more guns mean it's safer. Not at all. Like if I had 4 arms to punch people, I would never punch anyone.
You give all the rich people the money. You give a few people all the money,
and then you give everyone guns.
They build kingdoms, and then everyone's happy because they don't have to have the weight of all that money weighing them down. Or
you remember how good feudalism was, right? Remember the serfs and the samurai and all those things? That was great. No one ever starved and killed each other for hundreds of years during those times. Oh, they did? That's all they did? Well, who could have known that?
Well, wealthy Middle East countries where most of the citizens don't have the money, but there's a few people who have a lot. These Saudi kings are doing so well.
Yeah, we should start calling billionaires princes. I feel like that'll get the guillotines going quicker.
Yeah.
Like, hey, congrats, you're a prince now. And they're like, please don't call me that.
Don't call me a prince.
I'm a regular guy.
I'm a regular guy who worked really hard.
Yeah, I'm just a regular guy who owns a 400-foot yacht and a castle. I'm totally a regular person. You know, I'm just like anyone. Just with a castle. No, you're a prince, dog. You're a prince.
Like a prince.
That's what that is.
Describe most princes.
Yeah. It's not Dr. Dre. It's Prince Dre now. That's fun.
Yeah, doctors aren't billionaires.
You're like, you're Prince. It's like, no, I'm Kanye West. It's like, no, you're Prince Kanye West. Like, that's confusing. There's already a guy named Prince. He's dead.
Formerly known as Prince Kanye West. This is becoming more confusing.
Yeah, that's when after you murder a billionaire, he's the guy formerly known as Prince.
Do you take on his title?
No, that'd be
so
chieftain.
You'd be like Willie.
If he was chieftain, then you take his title.
Willie, formerly not known as Prince.
That's what we need again. Chieftains. Chieftains never had a lot of money.
Yeah,
they're all I'm just in charge.
Just power.
Yeah, just power through being stronger than other people.
I don't know.
What it's all about.
People with lots of power but then still don't have money almost sounds scarier.
Yeah, you're like, that guy's just gonna kill me if I step out of line. He's not gonna. He has there's no positive fucking reinforcement he can allow. Like,
right.
At least billionaires like, hey, I'll pay you a ton of money to keep all your fucking subordinates down. And you're like, sure.
Yeah.
Like, hey, if you don't keep your subordinates down, I'll fucking kill you. Like, all right. You're stronger than me, and we don't have guns yet.
You just wait.
Yeah, you just wait. Guns really even the playing field for weak people.
I think that was the point of them.
Probably, yeah.
Right?
I guess. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure the first person who made whoever made the first gun was probably like 5'2", 85 pounds.
Couldn't even lift a sword.
Like, I'm tired of getting wedgies.
Yeah, the first.
Yeah, couldn't lift a sword, exactly.
The first wedgie was in 1000 BC. Guns were invented for another 2,000 years. We had 2,000 years of unregulated wedgies.
Tried throwing rocks, but it just wasn't. They threw rocks, and then the other people were like, yeah, I can throw rocks too, but I can throw them harder. And I'm like, this sucks. I need something that evens it so like it throws at the same speed no matter how weak I am.
Yeah. And then they had the slingshot. That was pretty good. I think that's
slingshot was pretty good.
That was David versus Goliath shit.
Yeah.
I think he had a slingshot.
First monster.
And that was the first guy with a gun was David. It's like
that wasn't like a
guns
real
on deck.
slingshot. Didn't he just have it in like a?
Yeah, it was like a rope thing. Or
Yeah.
something. Also, he may not be real. It might be a made up story. We don't really know. But yeah, he had like a sling
Also,
thing.
probably not real. The stories, it doesn't matter.
Honestly, we could just say he had a
It's like
gun.
talking
It's a
about
fake
Noah's
story.
Ark,
It doesn't
and
matter.
You're like, yeah, but how was the ship built? And you're like, all right, it's not a real thing.
I don't know. It
You
wasn't.
fucking
How
idiot.
about that?
Yeah.
How did he get animals from all the different continents? Because it didn't happen. That's why.
If Adam had to give a rib, or whoever had to give a rib, does that mean he could suck his own dick like Marilyn Manson? Or is that like...
Asking the important biblical questions. How much fabric can I mix without going to hell? They should have just given David a gun. It was a fake story anyway. Fucking spice it up. Make him a.
But I think it was
Make
written
him like
before
a.
guns. I think that's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. We can do a new one.
They would have given him a gun.
Did you ever see that fucking Romeo and Juliet remake? With fucking Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
And they all
Romeo
had
plus
guns.
Juliet.
Yeah, and they had guns, and the guns had like medieval names or something.
And crosses on them or
Yeah.
something.
And I was like, this is dumb, but I can see what they were trying to do.
It was
you know?
cool.
Yeah, it was all right. You know, it was dumb that they spoke in like
Shakespearean
ceramic pentameter or
Yeah.
whatever that word is. I don't think it's ceramic pentameter, but
This is what happens when you take away electives from schools.
yeah, this is what happens when you cut funding. I say shit like ceramic pentameter for fucking Shakespeare lines. But yeah, they did it in fucking ceramic.
Done in,
I was like, this is dumb.
done in clay.
Yeah, it was claymation. You're like, no, I'm talking about something else. No, I'm wrong about another thing.
Words are hard. Yeah, I
Words are
mean,
hard.
if we're
But yeah,
learning
they all
anything
spoke
today.
like, oh, doth have me stick on me,
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
it was like
I remember.
It was combining Shakespeare words with like,
But it was like
modern
day,
stuff.
yeah.
It was like you should have just done
A play?
or just made them talk like normal people. They have guns and they live in New York. And
Yeah.
they're talking like they're not in New York.
You could have still made it like a little poetic, but it was just a little too over the top.
Yeah, it was like make them Italian. You know, they even make them.
That was the problem?
Yeah, well, they could have been like New York fucking Italian, like, hey, get off my fucking family's daughter. Hey, Romeo, come on.
Stop fucking my family's daughter. My family doesn't like your family.
Hey, my family doesn't like your family for years.
We own different pizzerias. we're across the street
We're
from
rival
each other.
pizzeria makers. You got your buca and my Di Beppo. And it's
Stop bucaing my Di Beppo.
and it's the origin story of Buca Di Beppo. That's what Romeo and Juliet could have been if they did it
the
right.
family of Buca and the family of
versus
Di
the
Beppo.
It's the Buca versus the Di Beppos. It was Romeo, Buca, and Juliet Di Beppo.
That sounds like a real story. I'm
That does,
gonna be
dude.
honest. I believe you.
I can't remember the last name, so that's as good as fucking anyone else can do. Romeo, Buca? Are you kidding me, dude? I would totally write that movie. Or at least watch it. Probably not write it.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot.
That would be
effort.
hard. It sounds like it would just be
Right,
writing.
like the 5-page version.
It'd be like rewriting Romeo and Juliet. It's already been written.
Yeah.
You can just change the names from to Buca and Di Beppo. It's a very easy edit.
I would still really want to try that, taking an older script and just like changing names on it and like little details and just saying that around. People won't notice.
Yeah,
like,
guarantee.
This is brilliant.
Holy
Like,
shit! You know what this reminds me of? And they'll say a different movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you guys. Are
really? That's the one it reminds me of?
This reminds me of Catch Me If You Can. I changed Anchorman.
Yeah.
You're like, what?
You're like, it was Shawshank Redemption. I just changed it a little bit.
Yeah.
I made it modern day, and
I remember the first day I saw Red Buca. We only changed names to Buca Di Beppo.
it's still the Italian story of Buca Di Beppo. That's what we don't have. We don't have enough stories of food chain restaurants being
Yeah, we don't
how
have
they
enough
came
origin
about.
stories.
The founder was great.
Yeah. I need an actual. Get me locked in, like Little Caesar. You know.
Yeah.
That's a fun, potentially good origin story.
Why is he so little?
Yeah, he got killed. Maybe instead of getting killed by Brutus, he got his legs cut off.
Or he got
That's
Honey,
why
I
he's so
Shrunk
little
the
tiny.
Kids.
Yeah.
Kids.
He's like, et tu, Brute. He's really tiny. He got shrunk down by Brutus.
No, he's like
It's fun.
normal Caesar, and he gets hit by the ray.
Yeah, no, that's what I mean. That's how they took over the Senate.
Yeah.
They shot him with a shrink ray.
No one respects you when you're short.
Exactly. Even
Which
in
saw-
tiny Italian times.
Speaking of that,
and everyone was like 4'11".
Your whole thing of not respecting people when they're short and this and that. I saw a picture of you with your dad and sister and stuff. Your dad's
my
really
dad's
fucking
huge.
tall.
I know,
you
dude.
look short as shit.
Yeah, you know how
So-
you'd look next to my dad.
Yeah, but what I think happens is your dad didn't respect you, and you're like, of course he didn't respect me. I'm so short compared to him.
No, my dad doesn't respect me because I'm poor. Has nothing to do with height.
Maybe you'd have taller money if you were taller.
I'm taller than my grandpa, and he's taller than his dad. So maybe.
So it bounces back and forth.
So yeah, I guess like when my dad became taller than his dad, he was his dad probably.
What?
He became my grandpa's dad once he got taller than him.
Your dad became your grandpa's dad when he got taller?
Yeah, can you imagine like your dad's like, hey, don't do that, and you're taller than him? Like, fuck you. You just do like that, and he fucking pushing against him. You know what I mean?
So if you're not taller than your son, you're not dad anymore?
Nah, dude. I can't imagine. If my son's tall like my dad is, I'd be like, dude, you're kind of on your
Sounds
own.
like he might be. It
You're
sounds like
kinda
it
on your
goes
own.
back and
It's
forth.
gonna
in your
skip
family.
generations, dude.
Yeah.
I missed out on being 6'5", and I'm
It sounds
pissed.
like your dad.
I'm
Yeah, it sounds
pissed
like your
about it.
son's about to be your dad.
Yeah, probably. And I wish him all the best because he's my dad soon. My dad isn't even born yet.
This is very confusing.
I know, dude, but it's right.
I don't think so. I don't
It's the
think
height
it is.
thing, and really, it's important.
But as soon as I saw that, I was like, I know where this mentality comes from. I knew your dad was tall. I didn't know he was like a giant.
Yeah, he's huge. Dude.
Yeah.
I'm fucking.
I'd never
And you
seen
know what
him
the worst
next
part
to
is?
you.
He's like super skinny too. He doesn't. He's not. His bones are weak. He's so tall that his bones are just fucking made of like peanut butter, dude.
I don't think that's what happens.
They're
with
just
height. What
fucking-
about like basketball players? They seem to have strong bones.
But see, like those guys. But that's the thing. My dad's tall for nothing. He's just he has garbage, hollow bones.
so if you're tall for
His
nothing,
bones are
you have
hollow.
bad bones.
Yeah, exactly. Like NBA players, yeah, they have strong bones. They've fucking, they worked out on it or something like
Drank
that.
all
Or
their milk.
or they're born with it. I don't know, dude.
Ate
I don't
their
know.
vegetables.
But my dad is it's like how when you like stretch out like a piece of like silly putty,
mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah,
once
yeah,
you
it
stretch
gets
it out at a
weaker
certain
and
point,
weaker.
you're like, and you can just
Yeah.
snap it. That's like my dad.
It just snaps.
Yeah, just snap at a certain point. He just can't.
So your dad would be better off if he's like 5'6". He'd be like,
Yeah,
just
he'd be great.
put
He'd
together.
be fucking he'd be super fucking strong. He'd have good bones. Like me, I got great bones.
but you still respect him because he's so tall.
Exactly. That's the only reason I respect him. Because he's tall.
What about people who are just short and strong and could still beat you up? That doesn't.
Then you got to beat me up to earn my respect.
To be taller than me
right
or
now,
beat me up.
right now, I'm winning.
All right. Anytime when we're on tour, when that starts happening,
No, don't
short
beat me
people
up.
come
Don't
beat him
come-
up after.
Don't try to beat me up. You'll lose because you're tiny.
No,
and
short
you're weak because you're small. Fight me.
Anyone small,
Fight
come
me
fight
on
him
tour.
after shows. He's requested it. It's legal.
Yeah. This is a challenge to all our short fans. Come fucking at me. You half breeds.
Half breeds.
I don't know, half heights. I don't know. I don't know a slur for short people, so I just went with half breed because it's half.
It's midget.
Half
I
is
think.
in there. Midget.
Right?
Yeah, I guess midget.
Isn't
But
that
that seems
still a slur?
seems so. The first thing you think of, you know what I mean? I wanted to do it one step.
It
back.
sounded like the first thing you thought of was half breed.
No, the first, I did think of midget. I was like midget, but I'm like, I don't want to be hacky.
You don't
when
want
I'm
to be politically
insulting
incorrect.
I don't want to be hacky insulting these little midget guys.
All right. You need something else.
Yeah, so I went with half breeds.
I just think it's wrong.
That's fair. It is wrong. You were right. I should have said midgets. I corrected.
Come fight me, midgets. Doesn't that feel better too?
It does. It rolls off the tongue so well.
I felt joy in your coming through your lungs when you said that. It's like the first time you were happy today.
Yeah. You can find me at 1929 Argyle. Come fight me, midgets. I might look like Eric.
Yeah. Also, he got my address wrong, but that's fine. Thankfully.
That's good. I didn't want to give the real one.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, dude.
This was good.
Would you fight our shorter fans?
No, I'm not trying to fight people who like me.
I'm not trying to either, but you're trying to get them to fight me.
I'm not even trying to fight people who don't like me. I don't want to fight people who do like me.
Why do you assume?
I'm not a big fighter.
Why do you assume the short fans like you more?
I didn't say they like me more. I just said you don't respect them, so...
I never said that. I don't respect...
Yes, you did.
I don't respect them because of their height, not because of their taste in podcasts.
I didn't say that.
Well, I'm just clarifying, just to get ahead of it.
I'm saying you don't respect them because of their height. They should come fight you. I respect them plenty. I don't care how tall they are.
Yeah, I guess. You got me there. Whatever, dude. I'll fight everybody. I'll fight all of our I'll fight our entire fan base at the same time. I'll probably lose. But you know what? I'll go down swinging. And that's my David and Goliath moment.
Yeah.
Right there.
You sound like Goliath in this moment.
No, but there's so many Davids that it's almost like Goliath is the underdog.
I don't know. Goliath's still a monster, I think.
Yeah, he's just a tall guy. See, Goliath gets fucking nothing but hate.
He's misunderstood.
He's misunderstood. He's fucking represented. He was just a tall guy who's like, oh, look at this short piece of shit. And then David's short ass brought a gun and killed him in front of everybody. Everyone's like, good. And we put it in the Bible.
That's true.
Or it wasn't a gun, but it was the medieval or fucking old version of a gun. It was the closest they had. A slingshot.
This was, you can't bully me. I'm small, but I have a gun.
No. It was
I've
more
never
like,
read the Bible, but I think that was the story.
No. The story, it was more like the Columbine shooting thing. You know, that's what David was.
You bullied me.
And so I'm going to shoot up this school. That's what David
shoot
was.
Up this giant.
Yeah, it was like, nobody talks to me and I'm weird. And so he went and he killed Goliath.
David was weird. No one was friends with him in the town.
No one was friends with him. He liked to Counter-Strike a lot.
I liked Counter-Strike a lot.
Everyone liked Counter-Strike.
It was a good game. Come on, it was the Fortnite of our time.
David is the crazy guy who fucking took it a step further, got his friend, killed poor Goliath.
People were throwing rocks at like cans and stuff, and he's like, you know, it'd be really fun if we threw these at people.
Yeah, exactly.
What about that giant freak over there?
They didn't have cans then.
He's actually had, I don't know, whatever the can equivalent was. It had something, right?
They had like barrels or something. I don't know.
What year did David and Goliath take place, anyways?
It was like 1000 BC, 500 BC. It seems old.
BC's not in the Bible, is it?
I think all the stuff pre-Jesus is BC. And there's a ton of pre-Jesus stuff. That's the whole like
the
Torah
whole, like,
and
Christian.
everything.
Yeah, the Jewish side were for sure, but I thought the Christian side's like, we kind of ignore that this existed before us.
The Christian side, the Old Testament is the Torah.
I know. But
so that's what I mean.
But the New World Christians kind of are like, hey, we don't really like the Torah.
Those people are fucking, I don't know them. They're fucking insane and wrong. I mean, everyone's probably wrong, but they're more wrong than everyone.
That's what
I've
they're
always
just
ignoring
from
history.
Christian, yeah. But I thought that was Christianity, was ignore history.
It's ignore some parts of
history. And it's like Jesus being born was the reality. Well, I guess they're Adam and Eve and whatnot, but
yeah. Well, like I
Jesus,
think Christians are like Jesus when it starts to be good. Okay. Like that's the whole thing with Christianity is like they talk about the Torah and the Old Testament. It was like that's when God sucked and everything was shitty and don't even fucking look at it as a good thing. And then Jesus came and everything was cool and now we can stop gays from making cakes and stuff.
Thank God.
Yeah, but no, Christians are aware of the like David and Goliath.
Yeah.
That's an older story. I think it's in all the old books.
It's in the old times.
It's in the old-timey books.
I think it's about time to make a new time.
We got to get a new
period.
Bible
We gotta
going.
go back to 0.
Well, the Mormons did it. And everyone was like, we don't want this. And we're like, come on.
Well, because that was stupid.
But I mean, it's all stupid.
Fair enough. Yeah, it's all pretty stupid.
What's more and less stupid, you know? A tiny guy beating up a big guy, or some guy meeting white angels and telling him to move to Utah.
Yeah, don't forget the golden platelets or whatever.
Yeah, the golden platelets and...
that he had to read in a hat or something.
Yeah,
no one
and it
could
was
see,
through a thing. It was through a lens or some shit.
Through a glory hole.
It was just an old glory hole he found. Like, these are the New Testaments.
Oh, he said testicles.
I knew testes was in there somewhere.
The big Mormon thing is like having a bunch of wives and whatnot and
Yeah,
everything.
I mean,
I guess
there's only
sexual freedom or something.
Yeah, but I don't think they're like okay with multiple husbands.
No, probably not.
And
No husbands.
That's where the multiple testicles thing is wrong.
Yes, and that's the most wrong thing about Mormonism.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. What a bunch of morons. You hear that, Mormons? No, actually, Mormons are a big thing in Hawaii. Because they went to Tonga. And they
got kicked off Tonga and swam to Hawaii.
But then they spread all their stupid shit, and then so Tongans are mostly Mormon. That's why they all go to BYU. That's why BYU is good at football. It's because Tongans go to BYU.
All right, so Mormons affected football somehow?
Yeah, they did.
That's strange.
Yeah, at least college football. But yeah, fun little fact about Mormonism. Tongans. Tongans also implicated. Yeah. We try to make sure you learn something every episode. So
yeah, I learned something this episode.
That's pretty good.
Tongans are Mormon.
Yeah, Tongans are Mormon. Mormons are all Tongan.
I feel like we're unlearning now.
Yeah, we're going backwards.
That's fine.
No,
I don't really want to teach anything.
No, dude, I've never been I'm more of a learner.
I didn't like most of my teachers. Why would I want to be one of those?
I had like one cool teacher.
Every time everyone's like, hey, we got to support the teachers and they have it so hard and this and that. I'm like, I don't know. I had some teachers that were really shitty.
Yeah.
Didn't care, were mean to me, were shitty to the students. I had some that slept with students.
I had 3 separate teachers get arrested for either banging students, sending dick pics to students, or trying to bang students or something like that. It was all one guy. He was married to. They met in high school. They went to that school years back, like 10 years ago. They got married. She worked at the front desk. He worked as a math teacher. Okay. And so it was like, this is super cute. They met here and they're still married. And he banged this girl from my class. And it, yeah, you know, he was just down to meet another girl in high school, I guess.
Found my first love here.
Like, I'll find my second love here.
Like, all right, well, that's not how it works, but...
He's like, I've never met a girl at a bar, but I have met girls at high school.
That's the whole people who are like, you know, you really got to meet a girl at, like, the grocery store.
Yeah, right.
These people are like, you know, you really got to meet a girl at school.
Yes. I met, like, another one of your teachers, like, people you work with.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone of your age.
Yeah, they don't like me for some reason. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
It's a bad note to end on, but...
I don't know. I thought it was fine.
I don't know. We usually don't have a good one, I guess.
How was that any worse than anything?
That's what I was just saying. I don't think it is. Remember when we were talking about falling off high buildings?
Yeah, I mean, that's fine, I guess. You know, we're doing it.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed this, you can get a new one every week on Patreon for just $1.
Just $1.
And
it's too. Patreon lets us know every day that the price is too low and we're losing money doing it. We don't care.
They're like, you're crazy.
They're like, hey,
that's
actually,
25 cents an episode.
You're only getting 25 cents per subscription because of the fees we take. But we don't care. We leave it at $1 for you guys.
Yeah. The sticky hands of podcasts.
Yeah.
That sounded wrong. The sticky hands you get in
the sticky
quarter
hands when
machines.
you
Not
come
like
all over your hands.
Not come on your hand. Yeah. They call me Sticky Hands McGee. No, because I really like the. All right.
No, it's because I come in all the time. Because I'm always coming.
Larson's sleeping. He did a pretty good job not interrupting this podcast.
He did do a good job.
And I am proud of him.
Me too. Check out the Patreon. We're losing money. Check it out. I love you. Thanks for watching. Bye. Thanks again for listening to the Two Dumb Babies Secret Podcast. If you enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe on Patreon at patreon.com/twodumbbabies, where you can get every episode for just $1 a month. Pretty good.